Hello everyone, welcome back to another informative video. This is another cucumber update. As you know, oh, water has just come on. As you know, we're using the timer. So as you know, this is basically a yield trial, and we're also experimenting with the Terra grow as well in that tank. Now, there are a few things I want to talk to you about. And let us first look at these leaves. Look at these leaves. Wow, look at that. Look at that. These leaves are very large, broad, right? Compared to these, right? These are much smaller. So, you know, I'm looking and I'm thinking that yes, the Terra Grow seems to be working well in terms of making these plants look vigorous and vibrant. Now, there's something that I'm very sad to see, and guess what? Look in the tip. Look what we have here. You remember this? The virus, the potty virus. It's here. Right? It's on this plant, and this is one inside in the container without the Terra Grow and stuff. This plant has it. Let me see. This plant has it. Those two not yet. These three, sorry, not yet. But this plant in this container with the Terra Grow has it. And this plant in this container has it. So one plant out of each container has it so far. But what we have to understand is it was always here, right? So and you know, the workers moving about to and from, right? And they're working right now. They're cleaning out these canals to basically going to grow tomatoes. So it's like passing to and from, and every day they come and look at it and all of that. So you know the transporting the insects and so on. And so, you know, from that time when we had diagnosed the issue, you know, we go about insecticide treatment, and we basically brought down the population, insect population. We basically was targeting whitefly and the cucumber thrips, but I've been seeing some more cucumber thrips and whitefly. They are still here. It's like we have not been able to, you know, totally control them, like get rid of them, right? We just basically managed to bring down the population to a certain level, but based on how the potty virus is transferred, you know, even though you bring them down to a certain level, they still can transmit the virus. So you know, there are other things that we're basically thinking about in terms of like crop rotation and so on, just to kind of break the whole pattern, right? Maybe moving the cucumbers from the area that they are planting now and put them in a different area, just kind of break the cycle. So we're thinking about those and so on. So there are a few things that we're thinking about. So it's here. Sad to say, this plant will not produce a lot moving forward. Maybe I should just even take out this plant, right, to kind of reduce the possibility of insects transferring too much of the virus to other plants. So, and then if I check the leaves, I don't really have much insects, right? I don't have any whiteflies here or anything. Right? I don't have any whiteflies here or anything, right? We're seeing some nutrient deficiency as well. No whiteflies, but at one point I basically saw, here's a whitefly, right? Here's a whitefly right there, but it's dead, right? At one point I saw some thrips, right? So, you know, and then the fact that the time is so hot, it's going to be hard to control or to manage insect population, because they are more prolific when the time is hot, right? But you find that when you go down to the more the starting of the winter season, going into and full-blown winter season, you find that your insect pest population is very low, because they can't manage the low temperatures. The thing is, insect population is something that we'll have to deal with when it comes on to summertime, when the time is hot, right? So we just have to basically rotate our insecticides and integrate, you know, synthetic, organic, or biological, and so on. So, but it's just a virus. It's just a virus is a problem, and it's still affecting the crops. Not as much, but it's still there, right? We managed to bring back production up a little, but it's still there. Right, and as you can see, look on this floor. Right, look on this floor. That's that black thing that you see on the floor right there. That's actually one of the trips. So I know that they are here. So yeah, I'm going to harvest some more cucumbers, right? You can see we have a few there to harvest. A bit of sad news. However, I still want to be as real and as, you know, practical as possible with what I'm doing. I'm not, you know, I'm giving you whatever that the plants throw at me. So it's just for us to just basically figure it out, right? So of course all the plants now have come down with the virus, because I have to say it's the virus because this is what the University of Florida confirmed that it is. So it's a virus. Now I've been controlling and managing the whiteflies on these plants. So at no given time you will basically see, come here and see many whiteflies, maybe just a few, like maybe 3 or so flying around, right? But let me just look. Maybe I can't show you, but let me just look on some of the leaves and see what I can see in terms of insects on them, right? So let me see. I know I've seen already. Look at this one here, right? This one, right? Look at where the black spot is on mine. You see moving, right? That's a trip, right? That's a trip. Right, that is, it's crawling. So that is the insect that is here on the plants, right? And the only conclusion I can draw now, because they are the ones that I have been seeing, the only conclusion I can draw is that they are the ones transmitting the virus, right? So yeah, so what I'm going to also do is I'm going to cut the tops out, like so I've contacted another lab to do a tissue analysis in terms of the amount of the different nutrients that are in the plant, in terms of the nitrogen, phosphorus, these kind of nutrients. How much of it are we is it being overfeeding, are they at the right levels, and so on. So I'm going to send them to a lab. I've been in contact with a lab that is called Ward Laboratories. I don't remember the state they are in, but they are the one I've been communicating with. So they basically gave me instructions on how to collect the samples. So I'm basically going to count 5 leaves from the apical part. From up here I'm going to count 5 leaves from up here, come down, and then I snip it after the 5th leaf, right? So I'm going to actually keep more than 5 so they can cut it off. I'm going to maybe put 7 leaves, right, on it. At least they'll have the reference of the apical part to know where to start counting from. They can do the cutting or the fine tuning. So I'm going to just leave these plants, and then maybe later or tomorrow I'm going to just cut the tops off, right? And then put them to dry, because they say that they need it to be dried, right? So I'm going to put them to dry and then send them off to them, right? Just to basically have an understanding of the nutrient content in terms of the nutrient percentages, different nutrient percentages in the plants. Of course, it was confirmed that it's the virus, but apart from that, having an understanding or knowing what in terms of the formulation that you are feeding them, knowing that you are not overfeeding, or any nutrient being too toxic to them. That is also important. So I'm going to do that. So we'll have that information along with the information about the virus. So what I'm going to do in moving forward is, of course, this will have to stop because it's counterproductive now. So we're going to stop this. Obviously, we have underlying issues, and it doesn't make any sense to continue to do a yield test when we have underlying issues, right? You're not going to get the yield that are a proper representation, right? And furthermore, what I should also say to you is that no, seeing that you're not controlling temperature and so on, no, this time of year is not the right time to really do a yield test. Unless you want to know what the yield is in this time of the year in terms of the summer. Because obviously your summer yield will be different from your winter yield. In winter you'll have better yields because you'll have better temperature and so on. But as I said, firstly, it is about the underlying virus issues that we have, that is basically subduing the plants and stunting the plants and so on. So we won't get a proper yield test. And secondly, it is the summertime now. It's very hot. We're not controlling the temperature. So obviously the plants will they will last a shorter period of time. They'll put out some flush of cucumbers and then they'll die quickly because the time is just too hot, right? So I think in the winter time when the temperature has gone down, like between like roughly about November, December, January, February, March, some there about in that window, it would be better to do a yield test there. And of course, providing that this issue is, we get rid of that issue with the virus. But as I said, there's the cucumber chips there, and they are the ones that I'm seeing there, and I'm not seeing any white flies, and I'm not seeing any aphids. So as I said, that is, I'm going to, control them. Although I have been, but they are basically the ones that are like more consistent now. As I said, I'm not seeing any white fly and so on, but the chips, the cucumber chips, they are the ones that I'm seeing more consistently. So what I've done is I've gotten an insecticide that it has active ingredients, spinosad, right? And that is good to control chips. So moving forward, and to basically treat the other cucumbers in the rest of the greenhouses, I'm going to use the spinosad on the plants to basically keep down this chip population, to see how the plants will progress, right? So again, I'm sorry I can't continue with this. I'll tell you the results once I get to send off the sample to Ward Laboratories. I'll tell you the results of what is basically reflecting in the plant tissues in terms of the various nutrient contents and so on. So I'm planning to do a live as well, so we can talk about cucumbers. So I'm going to do a live. You just come on the live. We talk about cucumbers. We'll talk about some of the issues. Talk about how we can fix them and just have a better growth. So I'm going to do that, shortly. But I'll basically put out a post so that you could know when I'm going to do it, and so you could join in. So again, I'm going to end this trial test. But of course, the Terra Grow, the Terra Grow works. Yeah, the Terra Grow works. As you can see, look on these leaves. They're very large. So the Terra Grow is a success, I should say, and I'm going to just apply the Terra Grow in the rest of the greenhouse now. So another thing I want to show you is how many cucumbers we get from each plant. So this is the container without the Terra Grow, with just normal nutrients. So on this one we have 5, 10, 11 cucumbers we got from this plant so far. On this one we have 14, right? 11 and 14 is 25. That's 25. On this one we have 15, right? So 25, 30, 35, 40. So that's 40 cucumbers from these plants, along with, remember the plant that we took out. So that's 40 plus 5 here, because we had 5 when we pull it out. So that's 45 cucumbers we got right? From this system, the one without the Terra grow with normal nutrients. So that's 45. Let's just write that down, right? Let's put it right here. 45. And this one now, this plant, this is the one with the Terra grow now. We have 5, 10, 14. So it's 14 on this plant. Right? 14 and 15. That is how much? 24, 29. Right? That's 29. 29 and 15. Right? That's 39, 44. That's 44 there. Right? 44 plus 44 plus the one that we took out. Remember the one plant that we took out? Here it is. So here we have 7. So it's 44 plus 7, right? And that is going to be 51, right? So that's 51 plants. I hope my calculations are correct. So that's 51 plants we get from, 51 cucumbers we get from the container with the Terra grow, and we got 45 from the container without the Terra grow. So even though it's not much, we still got more from the container with the Terra grow, right? And looking at the leaves look much better and broader and more vigorous than these here, right? Than the ones without the Terra grow. So the Terra grow is definitely a go, and I'm going to basically put this into motion with the other cucumbers in the facility, greenhouse facility. So right, here are the cucumbers that I have harvested today. Right, I don't know how many, but it's a good amount there. I've also done some pruning and so on. If you have any questions, any comments, put them in the comments area. Please remember to subscribe to the channel. Bye bye.